Tonight, chaos at Saunders Secondary. A fire extinguisher unleashed inside, multiple fights breaking out.
People swarmed the kid who sprayed it. It was a mess, like people everywhere.
Plus, the impact of portability.
Eliminating a potential repeat surgery, I think that's a game changer.
What a new MRI machine means for patient care at LHSC. And a city councillor's cancer fight.
It's more scary not to have a chance to fight because you waited too long.
Elizabeth Pelosi's health journey in her own words.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a police investigation at Saunders Secondary School after several fights broke out and a fire extinguisher was unloaded indoors. With more on the chaos and the fallout, here's Brian Bicknell.
Video appears to show a fire extinguisher go off in what students describe as an art room. Fire suppressant fills the room on 2 floors.
It was so foggy. Like, you couldn't see a single thing.
What was it like to be in that room?
Man, it smelled really bad. You can't really breathe. And it was pretty scary, man. It was just out of nowhere.
Hey! Oh, shit.
A group of students can be seen through heavy fog involved in an altercation with another student.
There was this group of guys going to jump this one kid. And he was trying to, defend himself. He got the fire hydrant, started spraying that, or not the fire hydrant, the extinguisher. He started spraying that, and then I don't know what happened. I think it exploded or something because the whole first floor was all covered.
People swarmed the kid who sprayed it, and he tried to defend himself using the extinguisher, but it was a mess. Like people everywhere, and then it went and led up to the upstairs, and then that's when the real fighting started happening.
Several other videos show fighting in a hallway with a number of students involved. Video shows firefighters responding. London police say the incidents are under investigation, but couldn't say if any charges have been laid or if anyone was hurt.
Some guy got hit and right here, and now he has a huge swollen goose egg on his eye with the fire extinguisher. It was really bad. It was purple. He was bleeding a little bit and he was stumbling all over.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Did the ambulance come?
No, he got taken by a friend.
A statement from the public school board says it's aware of the altercation. The students involved are not present at the school today, and they're subject to the same code of conduct followed by all Thames Valley schools, and they'll be disciplined according to policies and procedures. The statement went on to say that families have been made aware and additional staff and supports are available to any student impacted by the experience.
I really think that all the stuff that goes around about these incidents paints a bad image on the place and makes people think that it's not really a safe environment. But honestly, the classes here, the programs are so extensive that everyone's getting the education that they want.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Officials with the Middlesex London Health Unit say they've been targeted by a cyber attack. They say it happened yesterday and they immediately deployed countermeasures. According to a media release, regular phone lines and software systems remain offline while experts work on restoring the systems. A social media post has surfaced showing 2 people claiming responsibility for the murder of a Windsor woman. It's a case that's garnered international media attention, with more police departments now confirming their involvement. Michelle Molesky reports.
After 2.5 days, LaSalle police have now released the home where they say 45-year-old Nancy Grewal was killed. She was stabbed to death on Tuesday night, according to police. According to her union, Grewal was on duty, working as a PSW at this home when she was attacked. Grewal was active on social media, offering a glimpse into her personal life, her professional passion, and her beliefs.
I'm a Canadian citizen, but I don't feel safe in this country right now.
In one of her rare posts in English made last November, Grewal says she was the victim of violence for her beliefs against Khalistan. Members of Windsor's Sikh community tell CTV News it is a separatist movement in India, seeking a new country for Sikhs in Punjab. In recent years, the movement has faced criticism over alleged links to incidents of violence and extremism. Grewal was vocal against both the movement and the violence, according to people who speak Punjabi. CTV News has now interpreted this social media post, in which two people claim responsibility for Grewal's murder.
The World Wide Web has complicated a lot of things.
Public safety analyst Chris Lewis says police will be forced to investigate all tips, no matter where they originate from. It would be a daunting task for a small force like LaSalle.
And they probably don't have a strong cyber investigative team like the OPP would have or the RCMP would have to help them with some of that online stuff.
LaSalle police are now confirming the OPP is assisting in their investigation, but they won't say in what capacity. They're also not saying if they have a suspect in the murder or if the post claiming responsibility is credible.
We're not going to be sharing specific, potential motives, investigative avenues, tips, leads, those kinds of things. Our investigators are working hard to solve this case, and we hope to bring the offender to justice.
Lewis cautions the community. Just because police aren't identifying a suspect doesn't mean they don't have one in their sights.
There's just so many things to look at forensically, online stuff in this case, potentially international implications in this case. It's never easy. It's always quick and on TV, but that's not the reality of the real world. These are complex cases.
Michelle Molaski, CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Rita Ismail. We have a fog advisory that has been issued for tonight, and we are expecting rainfall for tonight into tomorrow. There is also a rainfall warning for Midwestern Ontario. Right now we're sitting at 3 degrees. The wind's out of the east 15 kilometers per hour. We can thank this big area of low pressure that is moving in. You could see heavy rainfall throughout Grey and Bruce County, some embedded thunderstorm activity as well. For us here in London, we did see a little bit of showers pass through. Now, as I zoom out, you could see that was the warm front. We are still tracking the cold front that will push in behind it, and that means more rain in store for your Saturday before a beautiful day for Sunday. I'll walk you through the next 48 coming up a little later in the show. Carlyle?
Thanks, Rita. Provincial police say a 75-year-old from St. Thomas and a 28-year-old from Georgian Bluffs were killed in a crash north of London last night. Police say they were called for a head-on collision near Highbury Avenue North between 13 and 14 Mile Roads. They say both drivers were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead, and there was no one else in the vehicles. A controversial beachfront development in Port Elgin may not get built after all. Municipal officials in Saugeen Shores say they're considering terminating the lease because of missed construction deadlines. Scott Miller reports.
A multi-million-dollar waterfront development meant to transform Port Elgin's beachfront could be coming to an end before it really got started.
Pretty surprised, and I'm proud of council for making a tough decision, but it had to be done.
After years of showing support for the private beachfront commercial development, the town of Saugeen Shores is threatening to pull the plug on it for missing construction deadlines. A comprehensive review of the Cedar Crescent Village project and its associated agreements has been completed. Consequently, the town is now taking steps to assert its rights under the lease and site works agreement, which includes the town's right to terminate the lease. A 50-year land lease was signed between the town of Saugeen Shores and the developers of Cedar Crescent Village in 2019. Building permits for the proposed retail stores, restaurants, and beach viewing deck were issued in March of 2023. After little progress was made on the ground, construction extension was granted in February of 2025, with partial completion expected by February of 2026. That hasn't happened. The proposed site, located meters away from Port Elgin's beach, has construction fencing, but little else, which has prompted the town's pursuit of lease termination.
It's hard to know at this point just how long it could drag out. It would be nice if everybody shook hands and said it's not going to work. The proponent has had lots of opportunity to meet deadlines, and month after month, year after year has gone by, and it just hasn't happened.
The move comes after years of public support for the project by Saugeen Shores. Last February, Mayor Luc Charbonneau says he was looking forward to the project being completed.
It's a 50-year lease, and it's going to be an extra 10 months, and in the context of a 50-year lease, another 10 months isn't all that long.
We spoke to Cedar Crescent Village developer Pierre Denini, who was unable to meet our deadline for comment. Corrigan Frank says she's eager to see the proposed development site cleaned up and the town move on to other waterfront ideas. Whatever the ultimate outcome of the Cedar Crescent Village is, Saugeen Shores says they are still very much interested in some sort of development here along Port Elgin's waterfront. In Port Elgin, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Back in January, London City Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa announced she had recently undergone surgery for breast cancer. And now, as her chemotherapy begins, she's sharing that health journey with CTV News. For more on this, I'm joined by Daryl Newcomb. And Daryl, this will be an ongoing project that you're going to be working on.
That's right, Carlyle. This will be a periodic months-long series. Its intent to allow Councillor Pelosa to share her own experience in her own words. This morning, she invited us as she prepared for the impact chemotherapy will have on her hair.
I know. Okay. This haircut really wasn't a choice. It was a necessity. I know the hair's going to be gone in a couple of weeks. Reading different things about when to cut it, how to cut it, when to shave it. Emotionally, I'd rather wake up to a couple inches of hair on my pillow versus an entire handful. So just trying to do it now by choice versus waking up in sadness. Wow.
First step in a big change.
Absolutely, it's going to be a big change. I hope that, one, people are proactive and get their testing done. Book your mammograms. Since the last coverage, a lot of people are reaching out that they've never had one done, that they're afraid to have one done, that they're afraid to find out what it might mean, what the results might be, but it's more scary not to have a chance to fight because you waited too long. Hoping that we can destigmatize what it is to have cancer, what it is to go through chemo.
You're gonna rock this?
Men, you can look at them and like they're bald, they've shaved it, they've gone bald, whatnot, and it's like, oh, he's still handsome, but that same beauty standard doesn't really seem to extend to women. I still have 2 events coming up that are scheduled. My newsletter is going out soon, so just making sure that residents know I'm still here, just in person. I'm going to look quite different. Yeah, everyone keeps telling me that I need to acknowledge that things are not in my control. That doesn't go easily for me. My engagement with the community is going to look a little bit different for a while. More text versus phone calls, finding some issues with the esophagus already hurting and some trouble swallowing.
It looks good.
Thank you.
And that's the
unbiased hairstylist.
I was like, no, it's just
better than I thought. I think that's the most positive person could be, that it was a choice I made. I'm happy with it. I think it looks all right.
My role is to film and edit this series, but that's where my involvement ends. This is Elizabeth Pelosa's story to tell, and you can find a lot more content on our CTV London website, including an opportunity to provide feedback and ask questions. We'll choose the best and share them in future stories. Carlyle.
Thanks very much, Daryl. The International Women's Day breakfast was held this morning at RBC Place.
There was legislation on the books in Ontario that allowed for women to be incarcerated for not having committed a crime, for just subjective misbehavior. So when I read that, that was like just infuriated me.
The event included a conversation with Canadian author Heather Marshall discussing her work and its real-life inspiration, focusing on the failings of the political and justice systems for women. The Women's Day breakfast is the biggest fundraiser of the year for the London Abused Women's Centre.
We need to continue to provide immediate access to service. So if a woman calls in or walks in, she can speak with somebody right away, within the same week, whatever works for her schedule. That's first and foremost. That's number one.
Local First Nation leaders held an inaugural hockey tournament today at Earl Nichols Arena. The organizers say for the kids involved, it's about much more than just a game.
We have 120 students participating in our tournament across 4 schools. Plus, we also have an additional maybe 500 fans in attendance, elders, parents, supporters, just people coming to have a great time.
Importance of having this event in our community is to show the sportsmanship in regards to all of our nations. It's also coming down to health and wellness, to the opportunities for our kids to express. It does go a long way in regards to wellness to our community to take care of themselves on a regular basis.
Some kids don't get these opportunities. Some kids, whether it be financial, whether it be physical, geographical, some can't make it to the games. But we're providing this opportunity through our schools so that they can feel what it feels like to be part of a team, build that camaraderie, build that communication, and just have fun and share a great day with everybody. The City of London also helped us. So we have good relationships, they have good partnerships with Oneida overall, and we're trying to build upon that year by year. And just for reconciliation, when we talk about that, we want to reconcile, we want to have and build those relationships with our communities.
Just in regards to community, it supports our community to see the smiles on the kids and see them have fun. And also thank you to the parents, the aunties, uncles, sisters, brothers for bringing the kids here today. It's a great time to see them smiling and having fun. There's no worries about them today. It's just to see them laughing and smiling.
The 2026 Paralympic Games are underway in Italy after the opening ceremony this afternoon. With more on the Canadian contingent pushing for podium finishes, here's John Venevalley-Rao.
After a torch relay that saw the Paralympic flame carried across Italy, it finally made its way to the opening ceremony, where athletes from 50 countries gathered inside the iconic Verona Arena for a display celebrating the start of the 14th Paralympic Games. That'll see 50 Canadians compete, including Tyler Turner, who lost both legs below the knee because of a skydiving accident. He'll take part in para snowboarding after winning Canada's first gold in the sport 4 years ago.
I can't wait. I mean, I've been ready for this for so long. It's a long wait for this one moment to go put everything on the line, and I cannot wait for that moment to come.
Greatness doesn't start in the spotlight. It starts on local trails after school.
As shown in this promotional video, the athletes have been training hard to compete in all sorts of events, including wheelchair curling and para-skiing. With Saskatchewan's Brittany Hudak a top medal hope, an inspiration to others, she's at her 4th Paralympic Games. And when it comes to sledge hockey, the Canadian team predicts they'll again battle Team USA for the gold after winning silver at the last 2 games. The team is being led by Ontario's Tyler McGregor, who lost a leg to a type of bone cancer.
I think for us to be able to represent our sport on the global stage and inspire the next young kid who may be missing a leg or has a disability to maybe dream of one day doing the same, I think that's what success looks like.
Serving as honorary captain for the Paralympic team, 6-time para-skiing medalist Mac Marcoux.
I think across all 5 sports, we have a lot of athletes to keep your eye on. It's almost one of those things you can't look away because you might miss something incredible.
With new heroes and new stories set to emerge over the next 9 days of competition. John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, the evacuation scramble, the latest on efforts to help thousands of Canadians escape the violence overseas. Plus, the Prime Minister strikes a new deal with Japan for economic and defense cooperation.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. The widening conflict in Iran is trapping more Canadians in the region, many of whom are desperate to leave, seeking help from the federal government. With more on the assistance available to them, here's Judy Trin.
More than a dozen countries have been drawn into the war, putting thousands of Canadians in the line of fire, including this couple stranded in Doha.
We saw one projectile just above our head and big bang. And that was followed by another 3 or 4 bangs.
The war is widening. The U.S. and Israel are intensifying airstrikes against Iran and militant groups in Lebanon and Iraq. while the Islamic Republic has retaliated against 10 neighboring nations that are American allies. Of the more than 108,000 Canadians registered in the Middle East, 3,500 people have requested help from Global Affairs to leave.
Step by step, we are ensuring that Canadians can leave through 3 means, either through our chartered flights, through block bookings on existing airlines, and by ground transportation.
The bombing has intensified in Lebanon as Israel targets Hezbollah, while the majority of Canadians are stuck in the United Arab Emirates. One charter flight and seats on several commercial airlines have been organized to get 460 people out of Dubai and Beirut. But the Canadian Armed Forces hasn't yet been asked to step in, but they are assessing the circumstances.
We do not have any such request yet, nor have we moved major assets like ships or airplanes.
The military does have the resources to evacuate Canadians if needed. In 2006, almost 15,000 people were evacuated from Lebanon under Operation Lion.
Well, there were military and foreign affairs officials working together, working alongside others that were called into the mission. And it happened very quickly. It happened literally within days. We were able to mobilize.
Bus transportation leaving Qatar to Saudi Arabia has also been arranged for about 200 people. The federal government says Canadians will have to pay for those seats on buses and flights leaving the war zone. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is wrapping up his 9-day trip across the Pacific, signing a new partnership with Japan. With more on that agreement and how the upcoming North American trade negotiations could create complications, here's Abigail Beeman.
Japan welcomed Prime Minister Mark Carney with O Canada, while Carney offered up some Japanese. Like in India and Australia, the Prime Minister is trying to show the Indo-Pacific Canada has what the world wants. In Japan, that's Canada's energy, especially LNG, and food.
We do much, but we're ready to do much more. And that's a common theme of our government. So my government was elected with a clear mandate to build boldly with a speed not seen in generations.
Canada and Japan announced a new strategic partnership boosting trade, energy, and defense.
We need to be doing a lot more with Japan and with Korea when it comes to understanding the threat from China and Russia to Canada's, basically Canada's western part of our Arctic.
Kuzma is very important part of the calculation.
But nearly 3/4 of cars made in Canada are Japanese, providing thousands of Canadian jobs. And Japan is watching the review of the Canada-US-Mexico Free Trade Agreement closely.
I think that is the critical condition. Because Canada is, of course, a G7 country. Your GDP is one of the top 10 countries. $2.5 trillion. But you know the size of the U.S. market, $30 trillion.
And I think the Prime Minister laid out this evening during his meeting with Prime Minister Takaichi that Canada is in a pretty solid position. Of course, the negotiations will start formally with the United States in the weeks and months ahead.
The Prime Minister has a host of business meetings Saturday, including with some of the big Japanese automakers. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Tokyo.
On the desk with Rita Ismail now, looking ahead to this weekend forecast. Does sound like we're getting some mild, comfortable spring-like temperatures, although tomorrow's looking a little wet.
It certainly is, and it's starting tonight, actually. We do have rain in the forecast. It's moved into Midwestern Ontario as we speak, and we are certainly going to be dipping into that tonight as well. Now, our forecast high today, a bit tricky. 8 degrees is where we're expected to actually go this evening because of a warm front that's lifting ahead of this low pressure system. Although right now we really haven't gotten close. We're at about 3 degrees here, milder in Sarnia at about 6 or 7. Normal this time of year is 2 degrees for us here in London. Record 13 degrees in 1983. Now heading into the night, here's what it looks like in terms of our temperatures. So 6 degrees in Sarnia and in Windsor, 3 for us here in London, 5 in Goderich. But this is an indicator of that warm front crossing. You could really see the temperatures climbing as it pushes through. So in the next hour or so, we are actually going to warm up. You could see the bulk of the moisture throughout Midwestern Ontario as that warm front pushes through. Some embedded thunderstorm activity as well. And further to the north, a little bit of mixed precipitation. But for us, we had a few showers earlier, and we'll be in and out of that shower activity this evening. So if you do have Friday night plans, grab that umbrella as you head out the door. I'll zoom out and show you the cold front in behind it. So a 1-2 punch. As this cold front lifts tomorrow, we will be in and out of showers throughout the day. And then, of course, we will see some thunderstorm activity as well. If you wake up overnight to rumbles of thunder, that's that warm front exiting, the cold front pushing through, and there's that activity in between noon and 4 p.m. It is going to push out quickly, and in behind it, some more wraparound showers as well. Cloud cover for your Saturday evening, but then we're expecting that cloud to clear out by Sunday afternoon, making way for much needed sunshine because, of course, the last 24 hours have been quite gray and damp with the rainfall. So we are keeping our fingers crossed for that sunshine on Sunday. This evening, as that system pushes through, the winds are going to pick up southeast 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. And again, scattered showers overnight, expecting to hit that 8-degree mark by midnight. We'll see how that goes. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning is when this system will start to push through. So by tomorrow, we're expecting a daytime high of 18 degrees when all is said and done, and then we'll drop back down on Sunday. Rainy, windy conditions again between noon and about 4 p.m. Those winds will shift and they'll gust out of the southwest 40 to 60 kilometers per hour for your Saturday. So Saturday, soggy, cloudy, but mild and actually warm. 18 degrees for this time of year. We drop down on Sunday at 10 degrees, but of course we do spring forward at 2 a.m., which means you don't forget to set your clocks as you head to bed Saturday into Sunday. Beautiful day Sunday, mix of sun and cloud to mainly sunny conditions, and then getting even better for Monday. 15 degrees, very spring-like on Monday and Tuesday, and then the showers return midweek on Wednesday, the temperature around 9 degrees, and then dropping Thursday briefly to the freezing mark as we head into Friday, though, picking right back up to 7 degrees. Midwestern Ontario, you do have a rainfall warning in effect, and that is all thanks to this system. You could see up to 30 millimeters of rain by Saturday. And then heading into Sunday, drying out nicely, 10 degrees for you as well, the high, mix of sun and cloud to mainly sunny conditions. And then a great way to start next week, 14 degrees, lots of sunshine Monday and Tuesday before more rain pushes back in on Wednesday. So Carlyle, not a bad forecast. We're going to give you a little bit of both. Saturday, rain, Sunday, sunshine.
We'll take those temperatures. Thanks very much, Rita. Coming up, cutting corners to get food on the table. What a new survey says about Canadian shopping habits as grocery prices rise higher.
Join us on the iHeartRadio Pure Country Countdown this weekend, where we talk about how Luke Combs might be a danger to your health.
Also, Ella Langley wants to be in a movie. We have all the details this weekend.
The Canada-U.S. Trade Minister met with his American counterpart in Washington today ahead of the mandatory review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement. The agreement protects Canada from some of the worst tariff impacts. However, President Trump has repeatedly questioned whether the deal should be maintained. Earlier this week, Prime Minister Mark Carney stated the agreement has effectively been broken in the short term by U.S. actions. A new survey shows how the rising cost of groceries is impacting Canadians. Many respondents said they're purchasing cheaper, less healthy food and relying on credit to make sure there's food on the table. Kimberly Fowler reports.
We're going to make some lasagna.
Gail Barrett is finishing up a grocery run for the day at this local Walmart.
Onions for aromatic.
This is her last stop after shopping at Costco earlier in the day, getting food for her family.
Proper nutrition is important, but we're cutting back in other areas, right, to make sure that we can afford the groceries. I just kind of go to the spots that I know generally have good prices and buy what I can buy.
With rising grocery prices, some Canadians are consciously making hard choices to save money.
If it's not on sale, we're not buying it.
Like Fresco and like Walmart are like the places to go, I find. And like if you go to Farm Boy or like anywhere else, it's just like insane.
A new survey from debt relief firm Spergel finds in the past 6 months, just over 60% of respondents say they skip meals or reduce their portions. More than half say they use credit cards, loans, or lines of credit to pay for groceries. And about 40% say they delayed paying a bill to buy groceries. The survey also finds many are purchasing less meats or proteins and cutting back on fruits and vegetables.
The price of a container of strawberries is like $14 now compared to what it used to be. Even buying baby food, baby formula, I mean, it's tripled the price over the past few years.
Experts say the affordability crisis is leading to more Canadians going into debt and relying on credit to make everyday purchases.
I can't afford to pay the credit cards because the credit card interest rates are so high. We see a lot of times we go over the budget with them. It's sad to see that their food budget is limited, and we know they're not living on that.
Toman says, look at your budget, and if you're struggling financially, don't be afraid to ask for help.
I always suggest they reach out to their community, if their churches, the community resources, the food bank, if they can. Also buy in bulk. Watch for the sales, clip your coupons because that does help. I know it's a lot of work, but it's doable.
Kimberly Fowler, CTV News.
Canada's stock market fell more than 520 points today as the price of oil broke $90 a barrel. The TSX lost 526 points. In New York, the Dow dropped 453. The Nasdaq fell 361. The Canadian dollar is up 1/3 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained $80 an ounce and oil added almost $10 a barrel. Still ahead, springing forward this weekend, the impact of daylight saving time and the switch and what it means for our health, plus the latest province to do away with the time change. Welcome back. Officials at LHSC are hailing the arrival of a portable MRI machine. For now, it's primarily making a difference in the neurosurgery department, but as Sean Irvin reports, that's far from its full potential impact.
It was inside a doctor's office like this one that Owen Sound resident Dave Evans discovered why his vision was fading. Dave had initially put the loss down to another health condition and aging.
Best analogy I have is if you have a TV set and it diminishes by 1% a month, over the course of a couple of years, it's significant, but you don't notice any immediate changes.
But Dave's doctor wondered if something more was amiss.
And he did further testing, which brought to light the pituitary growth.
Dave was told he had a slow-growing tumor that would require delicate brain surgery. This LHSC neurosurgeon knew it would be a challenge. His team was tasked to remove the core of the tumor, the size of the average human thumbnail, from Dave's head. He likens the procedure to draining an eggshell.
But we don't want to violate the boundaries of the eggshell because on both sides the carotid arteries are there, and then on the top are the nerves that transmit information from the eyes to the back of the brain.
And that is where this new portable MRI comes into play. It gives surgeons an immediate review of their work and lets them know if they missed any part of the tumor.
So we can evaluate in the operating room, have we gotten what we had intended to get? And is there any residual that we can get easily and safely before we close?
Dave was one of the first patients to benefit. The MRI caught a small amount of the tumor that the surgeons had not seen. They were able to go back in immediately to remove it.
Eliminating a potential repeat surgery, I think that's a game changer.
Dave tells CTV News he experienced gratitude for the health team and the portable MRI system mere moments after waking up in the recovery room.
And I realized how much better my eyesight was already, even just the day of the surgery.
Following 6 procedures in neurosurgery, the portable MRI has now been made available to the broader hospital team. The possibilities are said to be endless.
It could save morbidity. It could save complications. The unit can be actually brought to the intensive care unit right beside the patient's bed. I think there's a lot of potential applications where this would be very helpful.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
There's momentum in Chatham, Kent in bringing an Ontario Hockey League franchise to the city. However, that would likely require building a new arena.
We really need to think about the future here in Chatham, Kent, and build for the next 50 years.
Chatham's mayor says the municipality could be an attractive market geographically, roughly an hour away from several teams like the Knights, the Windsor Spitfires and Sarnia Sting. Chatham's current arena was built in 1947 and only seats about 2,200 people. It lacks modern amenities as well, like luxury boxes. Chatham's council has approved $2 million for preliminary work on a potential new arena.
Oh, an OHL team would be huge here in Chatham, Kent. I mean, the tourism it brings in, the economy, but as well, what it adds to the community, and that Chatham, Kent is now talked about in Ontario. Every time the sports comes on and they're talking about the scores, Chatham, Kent gets mentioned as well. So, and it's an attraction point for people, for industry to come here, for people to move here, to say there's one more thing to do here in Chatham, Kent.
The 14th annual Chatham Auto Show is on this weekend. The event brings together local dealerships showcasing their latest models. Organizers say it's a chance for residents to compare vehicles and ask dealers questions. There's a charity gala preview tonight for anyone who purchased advance tickets. The show opens to the public tomorrow. The gala benefits the Chatham Kent Health Alliance. Admission to the show is a canned food donation.
All the money, all the donations go directly to the food banks, 100%. So if you make a $10 donation, that $10 goes directly to the food banks. Last year, we raised almost $10,000 in food and cash. So it's a great fundraiser for our community.
Tonight's weather snapshot sent in from our viewer Nolan Scott near Wingham. A beautiful sunset from earlier this week. Thanks so much for sharing. We're in for a mild weekend with temperatures in the mid-teens on Saturday, but we are expecting showers and thunderstorms throughout the day tomorrow. Heading into Sunday, our temperature will be around 10 degrees, but the good news is it will feel like spring with lots of sunshine Sunday into Monday.
Clocks across the country will spring forward this weekend, and for British Columbia, this time change will be the province's last. Pauline Chan has more on the health factors involved in the biannual switch.
Sunday, March 8th, we move our clocks forward 1 hour as spring approaches.
Basically what you're getting 6 weeks of change in one night, which is why we have trouble, accommodating it.
And Dr. David Greenberg says a new Leger poll shows just over 40% of Canadians report being sleep deprived, getting less than 7 hours of sleep a night, a problem exacerbated by the time change.
People with chronic difficulty sleeping have issues with obesity, they have trouble losing weight, sleep apnea, high blood pressure, diabetes, all related to these metabolic things.
Plus, studies suggest the time change is related to increased risk of stroke, heart attack, or even car accidents in the days immediately following. Other research shows 20 to 30% of children struggle with sleep schedules, with 30 to 40% of teens experiencing difficulties.
With kids, we always want to achieve that desired wake time, those desired bedtime. So any kind of shift in normal routine can have hard effects.
Alana McGinn suggests setting bedtimes 10 to 15 minutes earlier in the lead up to the time change. Make sure rooms are dark, cool, perhaps even use a white noise device. Dr. Greenberg says for those with chronic sleep debt, make sure you speak with your doctor. Many have trouble falling asleep, and there are medications to help that, but others wake up in the night, and for that, there are new drugs to stay asleep.
There's orexin, which wakes you up. So what these drugs do is they block the orexin reversibly for about 7 hours.
It'll take all of us about a week to adjust. Babies to kids to adults, about a week to adjust to this time change.
For BC, it will be the last one, while other provinces also contemplate eliminating daylight saving time. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Researchers in London have joined an effort to ensure HIV treatments can help as many patients as possible. With more, here's Jerry Dewan.
Recent breakthroughs have researchers confident they are on the precipice of seeing a cure for HIV, but Professor Eric Arts wants to avoid a repeat of what happened when HIV therapies were developed in the mid-1990s.
It's a horrible stain on humanity.
For nearly a decade, people in wealthy nations saw lifespans extended dramatically, while those in poorer countries continued to be ravaged by the virus that causes AIDS.
Almost 10 million people died of HIV simply because they weren't provided the same care and treatment
A visit to the Western Campus last year by Ugandan HIV/AIDS researcher Dr. Sisi Kityo-Mitalusa resulted in a strategy designed to ensure economically disadvantaged countries would get similar access to a cure than wealthier nations would have. The public-private partnership is called the Immunequity Initiative, bringing together researchers from different disciplines to achieve the best possible outcomes.
This was an ideal opportunity to combine the work we're already doing in biomedical engineering with basic work that Dr. Arts is doing in immunology, and of course to work for a very high impact goal, and a cure for HIV. The first time I heard that, I thought, oh wow, and now I'm sure it's coming.
Canadian businesses and education centres continue to build out their ability to do game-changing research. One example is the new Pathogen Research Centre under construction here on the Western Campus. While the $44 million facility is a welcome addition, Arts has concerns about cuts being made to international aid programs.
Given the fact that G20 countries are just not willing to provide the same support anymore, we need to do something fast. If we stop treatment, at least 500,000 people would die within the first year.
The Immunequity Initiative team also wants to see other nations bolster their own economies through research and development programs. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Officials with the province's police watchdog say they've taken over a case in which a woman died after interacting with London police. They say early this morning, police conducted a welfare check at a business on Fanshawe Park Road West. They say they took the woman to her residence. However, she was found dead later this morning by a family member. Some Canadians who had been stranded in the Middle East as war broke out are starting to make their way home, arriving today at Toronto's Pearson Airport. Flights across parts of the Middle East have been cancelled or rerouted as violence escalated throughout the region. Many Canadians were forced to scramble as only limited flights home were available. Federal government officials say they're working with international partners to help Canadians leave the region. Travelers arriving today said they largely had to arrange their flights on their own.
We were worried about getting home and worried about getting a flight. And every night there were missiles and alerts going on. So we're really happy to be home.
It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Like on the ground, things were all right. Like, yeah, there were lots of interception sounds and stuff overhead, but there was never really like crazy panic. Like, the stores were all stocked and stuff like that, so day-to-day lives were pretty much normal.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest on the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
I'm Sherry Flick, your host of Weekend Spotlight, Saturday mornings 8 a.m. right here on CTV London. This Saturday, Victim Services of Middlesex London. We'll find out about what they do. Colon cancer survivor and advocate Catherine will be joining us and sharing her story. The brand new London Children's Museum will take a little virtual tour and talk to someone from there and give you some ideas on events too. That's Saturday, 8 a.m.
Welcome back. The creator behind the popular hockey series Heated Rivalry has signed on to create a new Netflix series about Alexander the Great. Jacob Tierney will write, direct, and serve as executive producer for the upcoming series Alexander. It's based on a Canadian novel called The Golden Mean, which imagines the relationship between Alexander the Great and his tutor, the philosopher Aristotle. Netflix has not provided any other details about the series, including a release date. And finally tonight, a Canadian-made thriller opens in theaters this weekend with more from the premiere of Sweetness. Here's Andrea Case.
Do you think we'll get to meet him tonight? I swear I would die.
The film Sweetness is a psychological thriller which promises a few laughs to break the tension when a 16-year-old superfan bumps into the object of her affection, who just happens to have an addiction problem.
She thinks that she can help him. She does everything in her power to save him, and things go awry.
Think of it as a modern-day Misery, but Sweetness star Kate Hallett says the artist she admires need not worry.
You've relapsed, and it's okay.
Who am I?
We have to keep him here until he can get this out of his system. I don't know if I'd go that far. I was always really obsessed with Taylor Swift growing up. I'm super obsessed with Phoebe Bridgers, Chappell Rowan.
So should they all be worried?
Not from me. I would never ever do anything like that.
The film's writer and director, Emma Higgins, says, keep an eye on Hallett. She's a star on the rise. The same could be said of Higgins, a former Much Music video director, and her work behind the camera.
I wrote it almost 12 years ago. I was a music video director at the time, touring with bands across Canada and working with musicians and fans alike. So that's how I started bringing it together. And then we were lucky enough to get financing through Telefilm and Ontario Creates and the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund.
He doesn't want your help. And he doesn't want you. You're wrong.
Sweetness was shot in North Bay, in her opinion, the perfect small-town location. And Handmaid's Tale and Dark Matter star Amanda Brugel also joins the cast. In addition to big-budget titles, Brugel is very specific as to how she picks her projects.
A couple of years ago, trying to put forward to my team, I wanted to spend a lot of time with first-time female filmmakers. I feel like it's really important, as you know, to send the ladder back down. It's really important to keep the community tight and small and champion especially other women and first-timers.
Sweetness is in theaters now. Andrea Case, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.